Hello and welcome to Kelly Loves K-Pop. I'm Kelly. Today's reading is going to be a friendship reading on ATEEZ's Mingi and Jongho. And of course we're going to check in on Mingi. I'm going to do a tarot reading on each of the boys. As per usual I do with friendship readings, I always begin my friendship readings with a past, present, future spread just to see what points in time might be the most interesting for us to check into. Then, like I said, we'll do the individual tarot readings and kind of get more information that way. So, as always, tarot readings are for entertainment purposes only. I will have a lot more of my ATEEZ readings linked at the end of this video, so be sure to stick around for that. And I'll go ahead and get our cards shuffled up and we'll get going. This is my, oh goodness, Tarot of the Holy Spectrum. That's it. I forget. The artist is Chase Voorhees. Chase Voorhees. I want to give all of my deck creators their credit. And also I like to tell you guys, oops, all the deck names in case you want, and when you order a reading from me, you can say which deck you liked and request it to be used for you. I do personal readings and celebrity readings like I'm doing today. Just if you're going to order a personal reading, please contact me privately through my Instagram page. I'll have a link in the description and we can discuss pricing on what kind of style reading you'd want. So, without any more talking, let's go. We'll do past, present, future here for Mingi and Jongho. Past, present, future. Oh, the 10 of Cups. That's great. I love to see that. Okay, so past card tells me maybe a little dysfunctional, maybe didn't connect right away. Might have had we might have had a little bit of an enemies to friends progression here. But it's more here like one of them, I think it really feels like one of them is a little sharp-tongued and the other is a bit sensitive, and I think it took a while for them to get together and understand each other there. I just really feel like someone had their feelings kind of hurt. It took a long time for them to accept the other. In the current, we have the Page of Swords, so it's almost like one is talking for the other currently, and that seems about right since Mingi's been on hiatus. Obviously Jungho's probably been trying to express how Mingi's doing, what he's doing. Normally this would be a bit more of learning how to cross the bridge of communication, to build the bridge of communication. But I think in this instance, because we know a lot what's going on, it's more directly referring to one of them is having to communicate for the other one and learning how to do that properly. But it could be that right now they're going through another period of like little bit more unclear communication. They may not be communicating as much as they're used to, which also would make sense. And then we have the 10 of Cups, which I love because this is just saying like in the future there's going to be nothing but good feelings. They definitely will look at each other like family. This is kind of like your happy ever after card. They, you know, they may be dysfunctional, but they love each other and they wouldn't trade each other for the world. And I think they're going to be in touch and, you know, there for each other for, you know, for the indefinite future, for the foreseeable future even. So I love getting that as the future. But yeah, right now there's a bit of a learning process on how they can communicate. Again, if Jongho was kind of the sharp-tongued one in the past, he's definitely going through a phase probably right now where he's learning how to be more sensitive, how to cater more to whatever Mingi is going through and what he needs. But I also feel like if Mingi is the one that's been away on hiatus, he needs to ensure he is making the effort to still talk to people, or at least to keep those connections open And so he may also be learning how to express himself in a new way, express his boundaries, his needs, and his status, you know, what he's going through right now with the others. So that's what I have for the past, present, future. And we'll go ahead and do a reading on each boy now, guy now. I guess they're technically men, they're of legal age. I always call K-pop guys boys, so sorry. I don't mean anything by it. I call them all boys. I'm a Nuna fan, so I can do that. Okay. Like I said, they're late 90s babies, and I'm early 80s baby, so yeah, I'm a Nuna fan. Okay, so we'll start with Mingi because I feel like that's the one everyone is going to be really curious about. I'm just going to check my camera like I do to make sure we're still rolling here. So let's see how Mingi's doing these days. Let's check in. And especially how he's feeling about Jongho. We have that Knight of Swords again, or no, we had the Page of Swords, but we have the Swords Courts again. A Leo and a Libra. We do have a Libra, so it could be a reference to Jongho. We'll see. Okay. So the Wheel of Fortune, which is the 10th major arcana card, but the Wheel of Fortune upright tells me he still feels that connection. He still feels like destined. I do think he still feels like they're forever friends. He's pretty confident in the friendship, but the Wheel of Fortune also denotes usually there's going to be up and downs, but upright is saying every down you learn from and you rise up again, right? The 4 though, the 4 of Pentacles is about a bit of a greediness. I think he may be feeling a bit greedy, especially with this 7 of Swords there, that the others are taking care of him a lot. He's kind of in this place where I still think he's especially financially speaking, feeling like he's not adding anything to the others. He's really holding it back a little bit. He's being very stagnant and stable, but this card usually says greedy, and that's kind of what's on the tip of my tongue, but I really feel like it's not out of greed. It's about an insecurity that he's holding on to things, but he's not ready to move forward yet. Queen of Pentacles is why I think he views them as taking care of him. I think he's still obviously receiving his income from ATEEZ, from, you know, what all the things he's been a part of, and I think ATEEZ has been really working hard to include him. So he's obviously sees that. I mean, of course he's grateful, but the cards are just more saying that, like, that's the fact of the matter, is that's what they're doing. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse and the 7 of Swords together still make me feel like he's not ready, in the 4 as well, that he's not ready to really move forward yet. He is not, at least financially, looking for possibilities yet. And in fact, he has some guilt. I think he feels like he's still taking, even though I feel like it's more like the group is like, no, we have to include you. You have to do something. You have to be here. And he's just like, but I'm being hard carried at the moment. You know, I think he's doing it, but it's more because they're really encouraging him than him inserting himself into things. And I think he has a guilt associated with that he's working through. Justice upright tells me I do think it's funny because this is also the Libra card, so this could be a Jongho signifier, but Justice upright tells me he does believe this is what he has to do right now. He does believe this time he's taking is necessary, and is what's the most important for himself. Again, it's probably attached to this Wheel of Fortune, that he may be going through a dark time, but he's looking forward to overcoming it and being stronger when he comes out the other side, right? That it's all for the greater good when he gets there. Knight of Swords does tell me there might be change coming soon. It's like probably sooner than he's expecting, because I think he has a lot of guilt about what's been going on. I'm just worried that it's because of some patience running out. Like there might be a pressure on him, because the Queen of Wands upright would be like this is financially taken care of, where this is like creatively taken care of, and in reverse it's like that's no longer a thing. So he may have to make his mind up faster than he thought because of missing out on opportunity, of directly creative opportunities. And then the Six of Swords is also about it's about change. Sometimes it is about just a change in perception. So it reads like someone making up his mind for him. Like I feel like he has his guilt, and I wouldn't say I feel like it's necessarily the group, even though we'll do the reading on Jongho and that'll give us more information here, but it could be he feels like his time is running out on his hiatus, and he needs to come back, because he's seeing kind of people only have so much patience. He may be running out on people's patience. I just sometimes don't know if it's the reality or it's just his perception of reality here. I don't know if there's a big event, if there's like an anniversary or something that's like the time is up. The time he had allowed is going to be up soon. But these kind of cards give me a little fear that it's like if he's coming back soon, it may not be for the right reasons. Though I do think he's probably improved his situation a lot, and I think he will work through whatever issues he's got, but I do think he will come back sooner than he expected, or there will be pressure on him to come back sooner than he expected. A lot of fear that he's holding them back, especially in a financial way, and that they're possibly going to run out of patience. It could be Mingi's fear that Jongho, among other people, are going to run out of time and patience with him, but I still think it's his perception of things. There's a lot going on with him, and it would take a lot more time and a lot deeper reading for me to truly get to all of what I want to cover with this kind of reading. So I'm going to leave this one here with him. But I do think this is a card that significates he will likely be coming back soon, and for some kind of important date, some kind of important benchmark within the group. So we'll keep our eyes open for that. I'll go ahead and do Jongho's reading now.
Jongho, how are we feeling about Mingi?
I think the only thing that I can definitely think is a positive is in Mingi's reading. It definitely seemed more of like fear about like guilty conscience or feelings of guilt for being away, more than fear of coming back. Of the overall reception, I think he feels more confident about his return than he did. All right, Jongho.
Okay.
Hopefully the last one, the cards weren't too low for you guys. So we have the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is about like wish fulfillment. So there's definitely something between them that I feel like Jongho is getting what he wanted. Whether that's directly Mingi or not, it's hard to say, but at least it's something from Mingi that Jongho was like happy to receive. It was something he was waiting for. Then we have the Six of Pentacles, which is about kind of like giving and receiving. It's like an exchange. It's like giving people also what they need. So it's very financial though. So he may again feel like he's trying to be helpful and responsible towards Mingi. These three cards are really interesting together because we have the Eight of Cups, the Two of Cups, and the Ten of Swords. Again, the Ten of Swords is really a finality where something is left, there's something that's left behind so that they can be back together. It could be a return, but usually the Eight of Cups is about walking away or changing your mind, having like a drastic life change, but when you wanted, when you chose. So it could be about Mingi returning to them and ending kind of like that wait. It really kind of reads like that to me. And it may be due to some financial help on Jongho's part, even if it's just kind of overarching his part of ATEEZ and the ATEEZ being the financial help. It's hard to read, but in some part, Jongho has helped financially to reunite in a way with Mingi. Again, I don't want to say like 100% he's rejoining the group, but overall these cards are giving me that impression. So just remember, tarot readings are for entertainment purposes only. Take it with a grain of salt. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but it does seem like there's some kind of end of a cycle and a bit of like relief on Jongho's part. These two cards too is about a drastic change, especially in your heart and in your mind, in the way you look at something. So I do think a lot of changes had to be made around Mingi by Jongho. Again, I think like we talked about from the original Past, Present, Future, Jongho had to change a lot. I think the way he talked to and handled maybe Mingi in the past, and this could be referring to that, where he's had to work really hard to change his point of view, his stance, his feelings about certain things because they affect people greater than he thought they would. The this is the Three of Swords, I believe. Yes, it is. Usually the Three of Swords upright for me would mean like a third opinion coming in and kind of wrecking the system. But this is like something coming in it's hard to read the Three of Swords in a positive light for me, but it is like lesser, right? It's not a complete wreck of the system, but it is another new thing coming in, a new idea or way of communication coming in that may be difficult, just not as sad or heartbreaking. It's just going to be a time of difficulty, especially with the Strength card in reverse. And again, this is referring to probably like a lot of lack of patience and no longer having to creatively take care, you know, of Mingi. I mean, we're talking about Mingi here and his feelings toward Mingi, so it could just be that he no longer has to do that and then those responsibilities are finally easing up. And the King of Swords is also usually about being able to speak your piece, about being honest with people. But this also kind of reads like announcement to me. This deck, I mean, he's got his Book of Truth, but he also has a microphone and a speaker box behind him where he's gonna blast that opinion. But maybe also towards Mingi, there's a lot of things he's been waiting to say. Again, if he's been making all this hard work into learning how to speak better or be more thoughtful about what Mingi has gone through, he may just be really, really excited to share that with Mingi and to talk about all those things he hasn't been able to talk about in that time. Because it's obvious they've talked, but I don't think they've been able to talk about all the things, right? I don't think they've had maybe as many deep conversations as it seems like Jongho would like. But overall, the cards are very positive. Even with the Ten of Swords, like some of these cards in a reading could be very negative, but because they're intermixed with a lot of positive cards, it's almost like a bittersweet feeling, right? Something you've waited for, even though it's tough, even though it's hard, even though there's a lot of changes, it's something he wanted. It's something Jongho wanted. So I just do think Jongho's been putting in a lot of work into reconnecting with Mingi, and that time when they could reconnect, and that time when they will, he no longer has to be the caretaker or the provider. It will now, that portion will be ending. So I mean, overall, I did want to do a kind of checkup, and I think there's when Mingi could possibly come back is the big question here. It just happened that this reading lined up with all those things. So hopefully Mingi is doing well and we see him real soon. But again, don't get your hopes up too high. I don't want to upset anybody, but I'm hoping for the best for them. And thank you for requesting this reading. Right now I'm not taking any more free readings, so if you want to see your own K-pop celebrity reading, I have a Ko-fi page linked in the description of this video where you can donate. It's already set to the price for a celebrity reading, and you just type in the box what celebrity or set of celebrities you'd like a reading on and what kind of reading, and if you want a specific deck, let me know. Press support and I will do your reading for you. It jumps you right up to the beginning of the line. You'll be the next reading that I do. So if you enjoyed this, please leave a thumbs up. Please leave me a comment. Let me know if there's anything in here that really resonated with you or you thought was interesting. And as always, please take care of each other. Please take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys real soon. Bye.